Life moves fast, and so does your career. You've built a successful path, but now it's time to diversify your investments and secure your financial future. Introducing The Prestige, your trustworthy, vetted partner in commercial real estate investing. We understand that you're time-starved with a family to care for and a demanding career to navigate. Not only sheltering, but safely multiplying your returns in a hard asset, which does not walk away. You can drive by it anytime. At The Prestige, we specialize in serving professionals like you who seek safe and secure investments without the burden of becoming an expert in commercial real estate. With over 400 years of combined experience, our team of seasoned experts is here to guide you towards high return, high yield investments in a low yield market. We meticulously analyze market trends, assess potential risks, and identify lucrative opportunities, ensuring your investment portfolio is optimized for growth and stability. Here's a few of our client testimonials. Wow, DL, this is so exciting. I'm so happy for you and for us. Very exciting, and love the floor plans. We've got our distribution pending in our bank account. Thank you so much, DL. DL, we can set our watch to your distributions. Never missed a payment. Don't let time constraints hold you back from maximizing your investments. Visit The Prestige at mayhill.com today for our current and rare investment opportunity, and let us leverage our expertise to secure your future. DL began in commercial real estate in 2005 and is one of the top seasoned leaders in investing and developing in Southern California and Dallas, Texas. And there is no slowing down. The Prestige, your partner in commercial real estate investing.
Welcome everybody to the Wealth Webinar for Honors Way and the Prestige, and also Corinth Living Condos. We have some excellent projects to talk with you about. Our scope for this meeting is how to invest in your first commercial real estate deal. We also have some exciting project updates that I'm happy to share with you with our team of experts today on our current projects. And it's a great example of how we're supposed to be looking at deals. You may have deals coming across your desk, and you need to know how to do that due diligence. We're big on that. We want you to ask the tough questions. We want you to ask those questions like, have you ever declared bankruptcy? No, I can't sign on these big loans if I've declared bankruptcy, right? So we're going to give you some insight. We want you to be asking the tough questions to the syndicators out there, but also we as owners want you to be asking the hard questions and get your due diligence answered. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's rock and roll. Rock and roll, man. Okay, so we're going to hop over here. We're not PowerPoint experts. We are developers, commercial real estate people. And so today's information is how to invest in your first commercial real estate deal. Well, one question that may be in everybody's mind is the volatility of the market, the political unrest while things get turned around. What do we do during that situation? And this is one of the topics that we're going to address today, because commercial real estate is half as risky as the stock market. We just had a political reporter at an event that we went to this week in Los Angeles for advisors, wealth advisors, registered investment advisors, broker-dealers, family offices. And she went on into detail about what was happening in Washington today. And she said, well, expect the unexpected. That's a great statement. So I stood up and I said, well, what is the strategy that we need to put in place to expect the unexpected and to be prepared? Risk mitigation, right? So we agreed on that. So we have kept the same strategy of risk mitigation, buffers, contingencies, And it's not just about this year or since November. What happened when interest rates were way too low and the syndicators started outbidding each other on properties and making a mess of the market? That was volatile. And what happened when interest rates went up well over 9% and now they're normalizing again? That's volatile. So what happens is, with our risk mitigation here and the market doing its thing, we've got that buffer here and the market will do its thing. We sleep very well at night. So that's a great thing. That was just a good reminder of what we need to be thinking about. And when you're thinking about the deals coming across your desk, ask those hard questions. We have about 100 YouTube videos on the market, commercial real estate investing, the area updates, project updates. So today we're going to do how to invest in your first commercial real estate deal and project updates from our experts on the panel that you see. So why listen to us? I have 30 years as an engineer. I can do accounting at a CPA level, and I have 20 years in commercial real estate. Good reason. We have 400 years of combined experience on our team. You want to have an excellent and strong team on your side. So right now, I'm going to ask Mr. Davis to tell you about how to get back with us if you would like to learn more about our properties, what that due diligence phase looks like.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Denver Davis here. I'm actually the VP of the Investors Champion Club. And for as my duties, right, I take and meet with the investors and I build relationships with them and I onboard them through the process. So just looking at my portfolio, I've been in Prestige there for 2+ years and I have 6 positions within Prestige there. And then I also have other investments in multifamily, triple net leases, RV parks. And I have 10+ years experience in residential and commercial real estate. And the way that you actually get back with us is you go to www.morefreedom.com and you can actually sign up there to actually get in touch with us. And what happens from that point there, once you sign up, you will take and have your first Zoom meeting with me where we take and go through the actual deal room. And the deal room is actually where we have all our documentation. They're on one screen that will actually show you the investment snapshot. It will talk about the Dallas market. It's been a strong market. It'll talk about the rare opportunity of being able to invest in an A++ apartment there where we'll be renting to people that's 30+ that's building their corporate career. It'll talk about our track record of our previous investment that we had in Austin, Texas, that we sold in 21 for $22 million. And then what's probably most important to a lot of investors, it lets you know what our risk mitigation strategy is. So we can continue to pull in cash flow and appreciation there. We also have all our due diligence documents in that deal room. So on that first meeting there, if we're a good fit for each other there, you will get to have access to that deal room. And then our second meeting will be like a week from that point there. We'll be able to get back on a call and answer your questions that you may have and get your document signed for your PPM agreement and subscription agreement there. Look forward to talking to anyone soon there.
Okay, great. Well, I look forward to being able to help them through your team as well and having them continue to serve the folks on the phone. So this is probably the most important slide. We're going to camp here for a minute. Expect some discomfort. That's my disclaimer as an engineer, but it's important. Why are you on the call today? Why are you taking time at your lunchtime on a busy Friday? You've had a big week. You're carving out the time to learn about investment options, how to do asset allocation for your portfolio, for your investors, wealth advisors. So what is your reason why? Not only what is your investors' reason why, but what is your reason why? Do you want to diversify your income if you're still working? I would say keep your job. Keep your job as long as you can, because it is providing that stability and security that you need to do these Plan B investments and be passive. But also diversify. Diversify while you are still in your working years. And if you're not in your working years, you have a different risk profile, and you may be interested in that collateral that we offer, up to 3 times returns, but also collateral. If you're collateralized in an investment, God forbid I graduate to heaven early, what happens that day? Well, everyone is made whole because you're collateralized. And then you get your pro rata share from the sale of the property. Now, we've done our job. We have picked up a property and we have tripled the value, almost tripled the value by forcing appreciation. We've done our job. And that means everyone is covered by the equity that has been built. So I want you to just think about it. Take a couple notes on this slide, really important. So we have other topics that are available. If you go to www.prestigeyoutube.com, prestigeyoutube.com, we have 100 plus videos. This is what that screen looks like. We're going to pop through a couple of these slides because we have some important guests to get to. If you are still working, you may have seen third parties come from other countries that are taking up that bandwidth from that security at your job. And you might be caught in the hamster wheel, the income hamster wheel, knowing that the offshore people, the vendors, those third parties could take your position. So while you have a good career that you've built over 20, 30 years, make these decisions to diversify. We have an excellent team, and you've met Dimvip, you've met myself. You're going to meet Glenn, our architect. I worked with Carrasco for over 17 years, and he and I have put this plan together with our extensive experience from a financial perspective, leveraging from 22 North, our sister property, and bringing all that in. Glenn, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about your background, talk about what you're doing for the project and leveraging some of that 22 North material into the Prestige at Mayhill?
Sure. Thanks, DL. My name is Glenn Griggs, and I'm the architect. I have been an architect since 1985, and I've been practicing mostly on hospitality, multifamily, commercial, everything except for single family homes. And I placed my experience in doing the project or designing the project to be cost effective, and that isn't always cheaper. A lot of times it's better. It may cost a little more money, but it's a better deal because you can sell something for a higher rate. That's kind of what I do. I've already said I'm an architect. I also have an MBA, so I attack things from a business standpoint, and that is beneficial to most owners. We're working through the permitting of the project right now. It should be happening in a week, maybe 2, but hopefully a week. And I like this project. I liked DL when I first talked to her. This is actually the first project I've invested in. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I have invested a lot of them in, waiting on payment and things like that. But this is the first one I've actually put money into the deal. So I'm just trying to make it where it is a successful project. We've done a lot of things on it. We've taken 22 North And that information that was already done and sweated through, and we've taken it and just tweaked it a little bit to right size it and make it fit this demographic. So, and we've got another phase we're working on, and we're going to take that and make it complete the picture. So, if you need anything else, let me know.
Yes, and that's great. I might have to have you mute in between, but so 226 units on phase 1, 120 units on phase 2, and that's a combination of 346 Class A++ multifamily units, exactly the same demographic as our 22 North property. That is 30-something tenants. They're professionals. They just pay their rent. And it sailed through the pandemic as well. So while everybody else is going through a rent moratorium, our professional tenants just paid their rent. And they stay for 5 or 6 years. They don't turn every year. So we're very excited and we're grateful for your help pushing the building permit, which means that you're driving the mechanical engineer, structural engineer, and electrical engineer, plumbing engineer, architectural, working with the city, planner, and inspection, building inspection. We are days from getting that building permit. And some of the comments are small, like comment around the stairwell or comment around an event, very, very fixable. And the city of Denton is great working with us. They'll do the review within a week and we'll have that building permit. Let's introduce Warren Ellis at the same time. He has over 30 years as a planner and in 2 different cities, in Tampa and Dallas, not small cities either. He's also gone with our team, our Investor Champions team, to Orlando to talk with the wealth advisors. We presented there at TNDDA Adisa, and then also has gone to Factrite in Scottsdale to be available for wealth advisors to answer any questions about the build, the stage that we're in. So Warren, if you could give us an introduction of yourself and what your accomplishments have been, especially with the Prestige.
Yes. Thank you, DL. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. As DL said, my name is Warren Ellis. I have over 30 years experience working in 2 municipalities and city government. So I understand the maze of taking projects through the city process, particularly with when it comes to plats, your development plans, as well as the plan expediter as well. So I'm with the Development Services part of the Prestige project, and I work with our team with a lot of experience, basically collaborating in terms of what we need to do to make sure the deliverables are on time. Again, as Glenn said, that hopefully within a week or 2, our building permit will be approved by the city. We had our final plat approved by the city in February of this year, as well as our civil engineers. They were approved towards the end of last year. So we're making tremendous progress in terms of approvals through the city process. In addition to that, where we are, our site has a utility line on the western portion of the site that has approximately 12 utility lines in there. So we basically work with the various providers in regards to which utilities are going to be buried underground, make sure that those specs are properly regulated based off of the standards in terms of the depth and things of that nature, so we can move forward with providing that information to our civil engineers and our general contractors. So when they begin moving dirt, there's no conflict in terms of where those utility lines are going to be buried. So that's one of the few things that I work with the team. Again, we collaborate on a weekly basis to make sure that all our deliverables and any concerns that we have with the project are met or discussed, so we can meet and have a seamless project to move forward. So again, if you have any questions, again, with further details in terms of where we are in the projects, I would love to talk with you regarding the development services aspect of it.
Yes, great. We're in such a strong position. And because we have the experts working on the project, that's why we have been able to nearly triple the value in a couple short years. So you see other commercial properties that have depreciated because of the market. They bought too high. We bought it off market. We bought it with $3 million of equity in the property. That's unheard of. It's such a blessing. And so it's different. It's Warren, are you a syndicator? Would you call yourself a syndicator?
I would say yes.
I would say no. I got to
No.
tell you no, because that's a trick question. Maybe let's do a definition here. We're owners, and the syndicators have messed up the market, because what the syndicators do, or the sponsors do, is they will get a deal and they'll get it an LOI on it, and they'll want to make a little fee, and they'll flip it without doing any work on it, or really even understanding it. So I'll bet people on the line too don't understand.
Absolutely not. I'm not a syndicator. Absolutely not.
Okay, good. You're right. We're owners. Right. So that's what our deal, that our meeting this morning, right? Based on those borings, based on the updates from mechanical and electrical and the building inspection on the building permit, that's our day. And correct. So it's different. It's a good point to hit. So I'm going to go ahead and continue sharing. We also have Rochelle Fortu, who is on our Investor Champions team, on Mr. Davis's team, along with Dr. Adam, Paul Manibo, Emma Osman, and you may get a call from them and say, how can we help you? What do we need to do to continue your due diligence? Do you need this document, that document? Claire Moreno is also on our project management team, construction project management. So let's move forward with how to invest in your first commercial real estate deal. Easy to work with. These teams are easy to work with from current slide. We are such great PowerPoint experts. So Mr. Davis is going to take it away and start talking about, briefly, we're going to hit why multifamily and why Texas. And if you would like a copy of these slides, get back with us at 817-409-8796 or champion@honorswaygroup.com. You can get a copy of these slides.
Okay, so why multifamily, right? It's an inherent need of survival there. So as people move to Dallas, right, which Dallas is a great area, right? It's one of the highest paying professional areas to move to. It's the third largest city in the U.S. And there's a lot of construction that's going on in Dallas, which Dallas is number 2 in construction there in the U.S. there. And for us, multifamily is number 1 there. So when people move into Dallas and, there's not enough places to stay, it's still a inherent need of survival. So number 2 is a tax advantage. You can get tax depreciation as the building age. You can get depreciation where you can write off on your taxes there. You can do a cost segregation study that can be done that can accelerate the actual depreciation in the first couple of years. You get passive income, and you also can take a 1031 exchange and put into multifamily. It's a hard asset. It don't walk away. That means, as we had mentioned earlier there, you actually have collateral actually in the property here, and you really don't hear deals where people actually giving you collateral in the deal. So you have collateral to back your money that you're putting into the deal. You also get cash flow. So when you talk about cash flow itself, right, if you look at our waterfall there, right, based on your investment, if you come in at 50,000, you get 9% preferred returns. If you come in 100,000, you get 10% preferred returns, and you go through that waterfall there. You eventually start getting your pro-rata share of rents. And when we go from our construction loan to our permanent loan there, you actually get a kicker there. And then once we refinance or sell, you actually get a kicker there. So it's a great cash flow, great capital appreciation there. For us, the demographics there in Dallas is very favorable there. And then if you look at the decline in ownership of homes versus actually renting there, right? The average age to actually taking buy a home now is 38 years old, and our project A++ is actually focused on people that's in their 30 plus, and they normally lease 4 to 6 years at a time there. So it's great benefits, great tax benefits, and this is something that you really should look into, investing in our A++ apartment at Prestige there.
Glenn, did you know that Dallas was #1 for multifamily construction in the nation, and Dallas is #2 for all kinds of construction in the nation?
I knew it was high. I didn't know it was #1. I knew it was in the top 5. That's interesting.
Such a strong market. It's hard to find a really good deal in Dallas in retail and multifamily. That's why finding this off market, starting from the ground and forcing appreciation there, that's why we can get these high returns of up to 3 times, and we can give collateral. So really good points, Mr. Davis. Thank you for that. Let's get into the section of how to do your first commercial real estate deal. Very important to do the due diligence. And we're not going to blue sky anything. We do want you to trust us, but we want you to trust us based on fact and logic. Remember, we talked about the market, how volatile the market is. The market's going to do its thing, but we're going to stay under it because we have contingencies, we have buffers, we have risk mitigation, we have bank level underwriting. And so we are staying in that safe zone. We're staying with a recession-proof asset class, and that is a great question to be asking when your deals are going through your desk. Understand that asset class, and we have more education on commercial real estate at prestigeyoutube.com. It's just a website, prestigeyoutube.com. Understand the business plan and the market that you're investing in. We have videos on locale. Even if you're not in the area, you can drive around with us and watch those videos by getting used to the location. We're not going to be able to hit all of these points today. Assess the purchase price. Is that in alignment to market values? Are you bidding against somebody else just because they need a deal, because they want to get that fee? Let's think that through. Scrutinize the sponsor's assumptions. So are the risk assumptions accurate? I'll give you an example. Wealth advisors, here's what you tell your investors: that Dallas rents increased over the last year 6%, which is a good, strong growth, especially when all the other markets are flat. But in our area, rents increased 11%, and that's almost double. So we want to be taking that at the detail level and really doing a good analysis of this. We want to look at unemployment. Where are those jobs coming from? So with the Prestige, our tenants can work in 3 or 4 top markets. They can drive 30 miles to Plano, 30 miles to Southlake, 30 miles to downtown Dallas, or hop on that light rail across the street, or 30 miles to North Fort Worth. A lot of Fortune 500 national and regional headquarters are moving to Dallas. PGA, Wells Fargo, to name a few. So we're going to take a little bit of time, and we're going to have Glenn, our architect, talk about how we have leveraged some of those documents in the open records report from our sister property, 22 North in Austin, how it successfully sailed through the pandemic with our tenant type. But he's going to talk to you from a technical perspective of leveraging that work.
Okay. We basically took the 22 North plan, the unit plans, right-size those by making them fit the demographic of Denton versus Austin. Austin's a little weird. Denton's also a little weird, quite frankly. But we went vertical with the property. We got some 4-story buildings. We do have a few 3-story walk-ups, but we got some 4 stories. We got some under subterranean basements for parking. We've got a multi-story amenity building that 22 North didn't. It was all on one floor. We've actually got a VIP suite on the 3rd floor that's going to be really nice. We've doubled that usage because we can make our model room, as opposed to taking rooms that are rentable. We can have one room that's a model room, and then we can have VIPs, investors come in. If they need a place to stay, they can stay there, or whatever deal decides she wants to do with them. We've got an amenity space out there, kind of like 22 North on the screen. We've got an amenity space behind ours. We've got a fire pit. We've got a dog park. We've got patios. We've got barbecue grills. We've got something I don't think I saw in the 22 North. We've got a cold plunge room. So
You're right.
Yeah, if you're feeling that you need to do a cold plunge, then come on over and knock your socks off. I'm not going to be there with you. Won't be doing the cold plunge. Thank you. And then if you want to just run right across the hallway and get into a sauna, we can do that. Got a huge weight room and exercise area. The lobby's going to look a little bit like 22 North, but not exactly. It's got some of the features in it. I think it's going to be a nice bump to 22 North, and hopefully it'll have a nicer bump to how much it sells for. So anyway.
Thank you for taking that time to leverage what we had. Sometimes it's easier to go with what you know, but we know that the unit sizes and the floor plans and the garden style for 22 North worked, sailed through the pandemic, and people just paid their rents and sold for a profit of $22 million in 2021. So we were able to, just like Glenn said, streamline those unit sizes. And we learned from 22 North, and we wanted to make sure that we could streamline the unit sizes in case there was a shift in the economy. There's that buffer, there's that contingency again, that we want to make sure that it leases up quickly, and developments are leasing up twice as fast as they usually do, but also that it would be a comparable unit size if we needed to. If the market shifted, or when the market shifts again, then we can have some flexibility. So we took the civil plans, the architectural plans, the unit sizes, the floor plans. We did do a lot of the same thing at 22 North. And the nice thing about it was the decisions were already made. If it's a color choice, what did we do in 22 North? Okay, done, move on. And that was the nice thing about having that track record property of the same asset class, Class A++, garden style multifamily, that a lot of the decisions were made. Warren, did you have any comments of this asset class, or how you've heard us talk about 22 North and some of those decisions that were made from an investor perspective?
I don't have any comments, but I just have a clarification. If you can clarify
Sure.
To the audience, when Denbit, as well as you mentioned Class A++, could you explain what you mean when you say plus plus?
Absolutely. That's a great point, because when you pull a CoStar report to get some of those comparables, or you pull even an ALN data report for comps, they group all of the Class A's, all the new builds together. And it's a great point, Warren, because when we're hearing statistics about how multifamily is doing across the nation or whatever, then they're not taking the right data set. And so that data is skewed. The Class A 5-star in CoStar, which is an analysis tool for commercial real estate, and they sell things there. Class A++ is the same thing as a Class A 5-star, but they usually will group it in with all the Class A 3-star and the Class A 4-star. And so you've got Class A 3 and 4-star workforce housing grouped in with the Class A 5-star. And that just skews the heck out of the data. And then you try to do that within the market or the sub-market, that's skewed. And then if they take that against all of the United States, that's another skewed data set. And you basically misinformation. So the Class A++ or Class A 5-star definition is we're building a regular old multifamily, regular build, but with the fixtures and the finishings and the inline lighting and the amenities for that professional tenant type, we're making it classier and amenitizing it more for that professional. And that is what's going to make it a Class A++. So they can come in, they can drop their laundry off, their dry cleaning, pick it up in their locker the next day. Great amenity for all of these people who are having to go back to work and do FaceTime with their bosses. So they can have their groceries delivered to a cooler in the office, or they can have their lettuce put away in their unit if they want that service. So everything that we can do to help them stay working, they love that. And Glenn actually has a lot of hotel experience in his architectural background. And so we brought in some of those in the mailroom, I think, shows that very well, that it has a nice big island and then nice lockers. I think that I'm really happy with how the amenity building is laid out in this Prestige over 22 North. So we want to pick the right sponsor. We're owners. We have 3 projects that, well, we actually closed one fund, oversubscribed. Awesome. We have another 93 unit condo unit deal that we have just kicked off that you can look at. I'm not sure if it's even right for you, but we have an additional vertical fund number 3 that you can look at and see if, ask Mr. Davis if he can give you some information about that. Pick the team, 400 years of commercial and construction experience, super high quality team. Our civil engineer team is the top in all of Texas. Our construction team is HUD certified, and they are licensed in a number of states for that construction. Our design team is a very high quality but reasonable design team, and construction project management also very high quality and very quick and to the point. So our general contractor is great for pushing those budgets back, which has been a nice addition with them. Your time and money are valuable, and a good sponsor, a good owner, should respect both. So we have a checklist that we're going to be putting into the chat. You can use this due diligence checklist to bump up against the sponsors and owners of the deals that you are getting across your desk. We want you to. Our case study, we talked about 22 North, and now we have a second slide that has the numbers on it. Okay, and average annual return, not as much as we're paying on this property in Dallas because it's a better market, 240 units on 14 acres. We're going to pass through a lot of these. I want to make sure that we respect your time. You're on your lunch time. I love this canopy view of the 22 North. So we have several deals in our path that have been successful, especially in this asset class, the Class A++ luxury garden style multifamily. The other great thing about this asset type is that we will be able to build a building, get the certificate of occupancy, and we will have pre-leased it 6 months in advance. So pre-lease, pre-lease, pre-lease. We don't have to wait to build all 7 buildings to lease up. If you would like a copy of these slides, let us know. Take a picture, take your camera out, go to morefreedom.com, just like Dimbip said. And you can also give us a call at 817-409-8795, 817-409-8795, or champion at honorswaygroup.com, champion at honorswaygroup.com. So take a picture of this slide. I'm going to stop sharing quickly and see. Oh, we're doing pretty well. I just wanted to go over a little bit because we have Glenn and Warren here today, and that's we're always talking about construction, and we're not always talking about presentation. I'm going to show you the deal room very quickly. You can have access when you call that number or go to morefreedom.com. So we have the one fund that we closed down because we're oversubscribed. So Fund 1, Prestige and Mayhill, entitlements, done. You cannot get into this fund anymore. Very exciting, oversubscribed. And right now we have the opportunity to do for accredited investors. If you're an advisor looking for an accredited investment, this is Corinth Living condos. And we own the land. We've owned it since June of 2023. And we will be building about 92 condos. The advantage of building the condos is that we will be able to pre-sell and get cash quickly, and then have the asset to run and maintain. We are, you can't get into this one yet, sorry folks, but we will have the Prestige Vertical Income Fund. We have to own that property since June of 2023. So we have an entire deal room that you can have access to that has all the documentation, the city approvals, the reports. Probably too much, but not too much for a wealth advisor. I also want to show you the prestigeyoutube.com, and you can watch the tour of 22 North. We have spoken at some of the wealth advisor meetings, big meetings across the country. We have a 30-minute deep dive where Mike Carrasco and I are talking about past developments, experience, 25 years of commercial real estate experience, and I have 20. Why the wealthy invest in commercial real estate. And then we also have a due diligence course. I think it has a gray screen. You might have to go through these. There we go. Commercial due diligence, it's on you. How to do commercial due diligence. So at that, I'm going to stop sharing and see if we have any other questions. If we're good. So prestigeyoutube.com to sign up for the YouTubes. They're free. Morefreedom.com to get a meeting with Mr. Davis and his team. And I've got a handout that I'm going to share. Let's see if I did that right here. Okay, so handout of how to do commercial real estate due diligence, all the tough questions that you need to be asking. Have you ever lost investor money? No, not in 20 years. We want to be asking those hard questions. How much time do you spend on the property? Do you do other things other than capital raising? You know, all of those hard questions. So if you want a copy of this commercial real estate due diligence checklist, now's the time. Now's the time, folks, to get that. Or you can get back with Rochelle or Dr. Adam or Paul or Emma, and they will get it to you right away. So I just want to tell you thanks. thanks for carving out your lunch. We're going to be able to quit a little early here, and we will see you very soon. Happy investing, and have a blessed week, y'all.
After a lifetime of hard work and dedication, it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. As you enter into retirement, securing your nest egg and preserving your financial future becomes paramount. Not only sheltering, but safely multiplying your returns in a hard asset, which does not walk away. You can drive by it anytime. Introducing The Prestige, your trustworthy, vetted partner in commercial real estate investing. We understand that you seek less risk, financial security, and a reliable source of income. With over 400 years of combined experience and proven track records, The Prestige is your beacon of trust. We specialize in providing safe and secure investment opportunities tailored to your retirement goals. We know that you need to rely on experts to navigate the complexities of the market. That's why our team of seasoned experts is here to guide you every step of the way. Our collateral contracts have been approved 10 plus times by Quest IRA, which is under the SEC. Here are just a few of our client testimonials. Wow, DL, this is so exciting. I'm so happy for you and for us. Very exciting. Love the floor plans. We've got our distribution pending in our bank account. Thanks so much, DL. DL, we can set our watch to your distributions. Never missed a payment. Don't compromise on your retirement dreams. Visit The Prestige at mayhill.com today for our current and rare investment opportunities. And let us utilize our 400 plus years of experience to safeguard your nest egg and provide you with a secure investment in a low yield market. We are owner operators with daily hands-on on-site responsibilities. We are not syndicators. DL began in commercial real estate in 2005 and is one of the top seasoned leaders in investing and developing in Southern California and Dallas, Texas. And there is no slowing down. The Prestige, your trusted partner in commercial real estate investing for retirees.